Hey everybody, welcome back. It's Dave Casino. Today we're going to do a little coding session, one-on-one. I'm going to add a feature to Calorie Talk, one of the apps that I'm building with AI. The app's already in the App Store, but getting some user feedback. It seems that people don't know that they're actually speaking at times. So I had this idea to add an audio waveform. You might have seen kind of a synthesizer-y thing, or when you use Siri, it shows you a visual wave, so the person knows that the app is actually listening. So we're going to go through it. We're going to build this feature totally from scratch, and we're going to add it to the app and then publish it to the App Store when we're done. Okay, let's get started. I'm going to show you what the app looks like currently. So when I go to enter a meal or log a workout, let's log a workout this time. I press the record button and you see the sheet come up, and you can see it's actually translating my text as I speak. So this isn't what we want to do. Obviously, we'd be saying something like, I just ran 3 miles, or I just ate a hamburger. So what we want to do is add the visualization right here between the microphone and where the text is being generated. It actually extracted that I ran 3 miles out of that gibberish. So let's get rid of this and let's get coding. All right, so I'm going to shut the app down. So here we are in Cursor, and let's just use the composer feature. So this is going to scan our entire code base, and it's going to recommend, how I could actually add this feature. So I hit Command I, and I'm going to just tell it, I want to add a audio waveform when the user is speaking. I'd like it to be in the style of Siri. And yeah, we'll see what it does. Okay, so I hit enter, and all right, it's already starting to go through and give me some recommendations. So it's saying, okay, you should add this dependency, flood your audio waveforms, update the settings screen when the user is speaking, update the onboarding screen, update the dashboard. Okay, this is actually really bad advice. I only want to do this in the dashboard. So we're going to cancel this whole thing, and we're going to just narrow it down. Sometimes Cursor can get a little overzealous, especially when you use the composer feature. So this shows a limitation of the app where it's trying to change too much instead of just kind of targeting what you want to do. So I'm going to say reject all, and just to make sure that it didn't do anything crazy, I'm going to close the composer, and I'm just going to type git status, and you can see that my directory is clean. So no changes were made, luckily. So let's use something more sensible. I know for a fact that the audio input happens on the dashboard screen. So over here, I can start a new chat, and I already have one open. If you want, you can always click the plus button, and it'll create a new chat, and you can add the files that you need. Now, I know it's probably going to need to add some sort of dependency to a waveform visualizer. I don't plan on building a visualizer from scratch. That's just too much work at the moment, but could be something cool to do later on. So let's just, let's say we want to add an audio waveform in the style of Siri that visualizes the person speaking when they log a workout or meal. Okay, this is interesting. Anthropic is experiencing a partial outage right now. To avoid downtime, we're temporarily falling back to OpenAI. All right, so we get to see what the OpenAI model can do. I typically use Claude 3.5 Sonnet, which is from Anthropic, but it's going to use OpenAI in this case. All right, so it's saying I should use Flutter Sound, which is a dependency. So let's take a look at Flutter Sound. I'm going to open a browser window. I just like to preview like what package it's recommending before I use anything. So let's see what Flutter Sound's all about. Okay, we've got some stuff there. This doesn't look so great. This is kind of not what I'm looking for. Okay. I don't like this package, Flutter sound. I'm looking more for a Siri style animation. Okay, let's see what we got here. So it's not telling me the pub spec YAML. Let me just see. Oh, it's still generating. Okay, maybe it'll do that next. No. Okay, it's making some sensible recommendations as to where I should insert this plugin. Going relatively fast. You can see down here, just while this is generating, this is where you choose the model that you want Cursor to use. And I currently have it set on Claude 3.5 Sonnet, but because that's experiencing an outage right now, it's falling back to OpenAI. Okay, Siri Wave. Wow, is this doing it from the ground up? This is crazy. This is actually trying to make a new widget called the Siri Waveform Painter. Wow, this is a really in-depth solution. So they want me to create a new file that basically draws it using Flutter's custom paint. So I've done a lot of this in previous jobs, previous projects, where you're actually drawing on the canvas. It's almost like you're painting every pixel one by one, and it's looping through the width and the height, and it's drawing a bunch of lines. I don't know. This could be kind of cool. And since we've saved our work, let's just go for it. I don't I don't think this is going to work, but let's have some fun here. So I'm going to click apply. And once you do that, over here on the dashboard file, you'll see that it's actually like refactoring my code. It's editing it as we speak, and it's doing a lot of stuff. There's this cancel button here. So if you're just like, hey, I didn't mean to click that, or this is not what I want to do, you can always click cancel, but we'll let it do its thing. And it's still working. You can see these red things showing up, showing that there's syntax errors, but it's not done. So we'll give it some time to fix things. Okay, and now it's done. But I noticed there's this little red mark here. So there's some sort of like uh, syntax error. So we'll scroll down to that red spot. I think you can just click on it. Yeah, it's saying math, undefined name math. So it's trying to use a math package, and we can actually use VS Code's quick fix. Yeah, it's not really liking this. Um, but everything else looks good. So we're going to go ahead and accept this. So it's going to apply all those changes, and we just have these two syntax errors to deal with. Cursor kind of extends on VS Code's ability to fix errors. The ones you see here, view problem or quick fix, these are what come standard with Visual Studio Code. And it's basically saying, I don't know what to do here. Create a new class called math. We don't want to do that. There's a Dart package that has a lot of these functions in it. And it's using it to generate, to calculate the sign of these various numbers. And you've also got math.py. But let's see what this fix with AI does. Maybe it'll recommend which package we need to import, or maybe it's just calling it the wrong way. All right, so I click that. It says please fix, and its recommendation, it doesn't work as well. So now we're kind of stuck. Like the AI is kind of like hit its limits, and let's see if we can take it further. So it says follow up instructions, and I'll say, okay, this still can't find the math package, or yeah, and doesn't compile. All right, let's let it try again. That's still not working. All right, so in situations like this where cursor just kind of hits its limits, we're not going to give up on AI entirely. We're going to pull in our backups. So I typically like to use either ChatGPT or Grok, which comes with X Premium. But let's use ChatGPT. So I'm going to load that up. I'm going to start a new chat, and I'm going to say, I want to use the Dart math package to calculate pi pi, the sign of a value. So it just says import the math package. Okay. So maybe that was just missing that import and OpenAI's model wasn't able to do so. So let's do that. And you can see they're using, it doesn't even say math.sign, it just says sign. So let's import that package if it's not already up here. So we'll add it to the top. We'll organize our imports later. Okay, so we said import dart.math. And what's going on here? Unused import. Okay, we haven't used it yet. That's fine. And we'll go back down to where we're experiencing these syntax errors. So maybe we can just say sign instead of math.sign. Hey, look at that. That works. And what about pi? Hey, that works too. That's very cool. So we fixed that. We're going to accept these changes, but we still have another syntax error. So it's this canvas.drawPath. And let's see what's going on with that. Functions must have an explicit list of parameters. Let's see what this says. Convert to block body. Nope, that doesn't work either. Canvas.drawPath. What is going on? Let's see what the AI says. Oh, maybe this is just the this is just located outside of, yeah, you can see this here. This line of code somehow got pushed outside of our function here. So I think we want to draw this somewhere inside the function. No, can't see it there. Where does this function end? Oh, I see, there's this stray. What is going on here? Okay. All right, so as you can see, the code is like totally whacked now. So we're going to start a new chat. Let's just save this. Now remember, I have a backup of this code, so if this completely goes down the tubes, we can always reset and try it again. So I'm going to say I have some syntax errors here. I was trying to add a waveform animation when the user was speaking. Help me fix them. Fix these errors and complete the feature. All right, let's see what it can do. Again, Anthropic's down. I found when this has happened before, when Claude was unavailable, OpenAI's model is not that great for coding. So we're actually getting to see some of that here. We'll have to maybe try this again once Claude is back. Okay, so it's saying fix the waveform painter, ensure it's correctly integrated. Here are the changes. Okay, so yeah, that looks right. All right, so let's hit apply, see what it does. Hopefully it can fix these syntax errors. All right, I don't see. Okay, so it looked like this was just located in the wrong spot, and it was able to find that, and that was probably breaking this function here because you had an extra brace or whatever. So I click accept, and voila, that's pretty awesome. So now there's no more syntax errors, but does this actually work, right? We made a significant amount of changes to this dashboard file, and we'll have to review them carefully before we publish this. But let's go ahead and run the app and see if this actually works now. So I find like during development, just testing in web is kind of quick. It's the same experience you get on mobile, but just kind of in a web page. And so I'm loading it up here on my local machine. I'm already logged in probably from a previous session, but I always make sure to test on mobile, especially like actual physical device, because sometimes there's differences between the two and you want to validate. So let's go ahead and say some stuff. I just ran 3 miles. Okay, so we didn't break anything. It's still able to log workouts, but I don't know about you, I didn't see any waveform animation. So let's go back to the drawing board and see what's going on here. So we'll just leave that running. What's cool is you can just save your code and it'll instantly refresh on the web page right here. So it's kind of a nice way to quickly test little tweaks. So I'll say, okay, this fixed the syntax errors, but I'm not seeing any waveform animation when I speak into the microphone. Again, Anthropic's down. Make sure the animation value is updated. Here's some steps. Okay, so it's already recommending a bunch of things. Update start listening to update the animation. And then you have the stop listening, which turns off the animation. Okay, so it's stopping it here. It's saying listening is false. Cool. All right, let's just try it. I mean, this is kind of the fun part about coding with this. You can just tell it what you want and let it do its thing and see where it's messing up. All right, so it's making some changes. You can see, okay, so it's already made some changes. Sometimes I like to preview them. So if you click these arrows here, oh, and there's a syntax error. What does this say? Oh, it just says it isn't used. Okay, so we'll get rid of that later, but shouldn't be a problem. It's getting rid of this repeat thing. Okay. Okay. On sound level change, it's going to change the animation controller. Okay. That's the only change it made. All right. So we're going to save this. And you can see, I don't know, behind the scenes, this flashed. Let me get rid of that workout. I just lifted weights for 3 hours. Yeah, it's not showing the animation at all. So this was kind of a bust. This is going to happen pretty often when you're using Cursor. Sometimes it's amazing and it just does everything the way you want. I suspect its failure here is using the OpenAI model, which is not really tuned for coding. So we're going to redo this video. I'm going to try it with Claude Sonnet, and we'll see if the results are any different.